Hello and welcome to Sport Tonight. I'm Cecilia Mogbe in Lagos.
Sport greetings to you wherever you are in the world watching us. In London, I'm Austin Okonakwa. Cecilia, it's good to have you back on the show. I see so much is going on, particularly the Nigerian Women's Premier Football League. I see loads of talking points coming out of this match day 2 results, yeah?
Yeah, a whole lot going on. And of course, this is how the show looks like tonight. As Austin mentioned, we'll be focusing on match day 3 of Nigerian Women's Premiership and also talk about the Super Falcons of Nigeria, the absentees and the reason why some of the players are not around, injuries and club commitments and a whole lot because they will be playing the final round qualifiers for the Africa Women's Cup of Nations, which is in Morocco in July next year. The final round against Cape Verde. The first leg will be on Thursday in Abuja. Of course, they had their second training session today. 21 players already in camp. Just one left. That's Deborah Abiodun, expecting that to be around tonight or maybe tomorrow for the clash on Thursday. Also, we'll touch down on NPFL, that's Nigeria Premier Football League, the games that were played over the weekend. And of course, the rescheduled games between Remo Stars and Eimba, that's going to be a cracker we'll be looking forward to. And of course, touch down on grassroots football, what S Internationals are actually doing to ensure that the next stars, the future stars, are discovered so early by having different grassroots program. And of course, the UEFA Champions League night, yes, is back, and teams like Manchester United trying to avoid not getting out at the group stage, and of course, Arsenal trying to just wrap it up early before their final game. These and many more we'll be talking about on Sports Tonight. And of course, we're not just alone on the show. As usual, it's a Tuesday. Kainde Idris is right here in the studio joining us to do most of the analysis tonight. How you doing?
Very well, very well. It's always good to have you here. One of the things that I look forward to whenever Cici is on air is to learn, color combination. I always love that. And also good to share time with Austin also. Looking forward to Tuesday, and we're ready to talk sport.
All right. Austin, yes, you know where we're going to start off from, of course, is all about the Super Falcons of Nigeria. That's where we are starting off talking about updates coming from the camp, because we have 21 players, and the first list you saw, and when you're looking at the list right now, the updated ones, you have a whole lot of changes. Some players have an opportunity to play for the national team. I hope the coach can pick them so that they will just tell everyone, because if you go to their social media handle of most of these players already talking about their first call-up to the senior national team, especially most of the girls that played at the under-20 level last year in Costa Rica, also the under-17. The progression we are having, with the Super Falcons is something I love about plethora of talent, let me use that word, that, abounds in it. I was even suggesting or thinking, can't we even have like a second stream, like a home-based team for the Super Falcons? So instead of having players flying from Mexico, USA, Spain, everywhere across the world to come down here, you take a look at the 14 hours flight, they'll have logistics and everything, the arrangements. So you can have like a home-based Super Falcons here. Maybe just get 2 or 3 internationals to join them, the ones that are closer, especially the ones in Spain. Maybe, we have like,
about 4 or 5?
4, 5 or 6 or 7, because I know Tenerife has like 4 Super Falcons.
Exactly.
So you just get the ones that are closer and let them come, so players don't have to do a lot of travels, especially with this. The windows are usually very short. The time is usually very short for those games to be played for the players. But it's what it is. Yeah. Austin.
Yeah, Cecilia, I've just been following, the latest updates coming from the camp of the Super Falcons. Somewhere, I'm not just comfortable. I'm like, who is trying to, take Cape Verde for granted? Are the players acting, complacent? I really wanted Asisa to be part of the team, and some other players like Alimatu Ainde out due to injury, but I'm not just feeling the vibe of seriousness for this, WAFCON qualifiers. Are we so confident that we're just going to scale through? I don't want stories that touch, and you see how careful I'm being, because we have seen it time and time again. Remember, Cecilia, I was part of the people who punched the panic button first when we went to,
Ethiopia.
I would play that draw against Ethiopia, and then second leg, they came out guns blazing, and they did what they did. But I just feel the preparation isn't isn't right. Something is just wrong somewhere. Shout out to Coach Justin Magudu, who is trying to just keep this team together and trying to explain why he needs to, bring up replacements for some of the players that he was really expecting to be in camp. Somewhere, somehow, I'm not preempting anything, but it just seemed like all is not well. Cecilia, you would tell me, because I know a lot of times when you begin to see this sort of temperature in the Super Falcons team, something is going on the ground. But they should just be careful. It's a crucial qualifying game. I don't have doubt in those replacements. I don't have doubt in any player that comes up to play for the Super Falcons, because the women, time and time again, they've shown us that they know how to handle business. And they've been doing just that, except the fact that I've been struggling to qualify for the last 2 editions of the Olympics. So with this WAFCON qualifier, I just really do hope that they will give us an impressive outing on Thursday. Let us forget our troubles and, just put out whatever smoke I'm thinking about before you get to see fire. Cecilia, I might be wrong, but tell me what you know.
I think the reports coming from the camp is that some of these players are actually injured. I mean, Halima Tainde, we knew she missed out the game against Ethiopia. She was injured. I don't know if they checked up on her before they put her name out. Peace Efe was the one who replaced her, and she's also in this particular list that was released. Ifeoma Onumonu, she's nursing an injury. That's what she told the administrators. Also, Michelle Alozie said she wants to undergo surgery. That's what she said. Asisa Toshola and, of course, Jennifer Echejide. I think Jennifer Echejide, she's coming all the way from the USA. I think the US, maybe because of the travel distance or something. But Asisa Toshola, I think, did she play for Barcelona this weekend?
No, I think it was the Champions League.
It was the Champions League, yes. She didn't play for.
That was when.
That was the last one. That was when she featured last. Maybe she has a knock or something, so she's not coming. So I don't think.
And Azizat has even been going back and forth. Maybe she needed
injury and the rest. Another thing.
Yeah.
I think
Cecilia, just a quick one.
All right.
Just a quick one. I wanted you to say it because the press statement from the NFF says Asisa Toshola and Jennifer voluntarily opted out.
Yeah, I mean, maybe if questions were asked, they could have been able to say this is it. But I think if you don't see these players, because when we like Halima Tainde, for instance, we know she's been injured. Sometimes it's good to always check up on these players. You know, as a coach, you have a team secretary. I don't know if there's still a psychologist or something. I mean, if you have these people, you can always check up on your players before you send invites to them. I think that would be a better way to actually deal with this. But I don't think we need to press the panic button, as you said, because it's no big deal. These players may just be injured. I mean, we really listed 3 that we know that, yes, this is the reason they are not coming. But this is the list that we have. We now have some new replacements. For instance, we have some players who will be really happy to get into the squad. Now, just read through the new list that you now have, different from the other one, about 5 replacements. That's what you have right there. But I'll start off with the defenders. Osinachi Orale, she's back in the squad after missing against Ethiopia. Gloria Edet for TP Mazembe of Congo. She was playing for Bayelsa Queens. She won. She was with them last season, but she's now at TP Mazembe. So she's getting her first call-up. Rihanna Kasali of Bayelsa Queens also getting her first call-up. Oluwatosin Dime, she's more like, partnering with Osinachi Orale right there at the back, having a mainstay right there. Akudo Ogbonna, she was also in the last one, playing for Remo Stars. Ladies, Rofia Timuro also with Tosin Dime were the ones who were at the back, the defenders last time. For midfield, Moturayo Ezekiel of Rivers Angels is also getting her first call-up to the national team. She was with the Under-20 in Costa Rica last year. Esther Units, of course, she's becoming a mainstay of FC Robo. Peace Efe of Portugal. She replaced, the lady we talked about, Charity. She's not coming, so that's why Peace is also here, because she couldn't make it down to Nigeria. Rashida Ajibade, that captained the team the last time she's around. Deborah Abiodun, she's still being expected from USA in Pittsburgh. Tony Payne, Sevilla. Of course, you have Chioma Alisi also getting good call-up. That's from Edo Queens. And now move over to the forward. Omorishola Babajide, she's on this a second time. She's coming. Chiamaka Okuchukwu of Rivers Angels, she's also getting her first call-up. She was also with the Under-20 Costa Rica last year. Esther Koronko coming in. Uche Nakano, of course, she's also there. And of course, you have more the gifts. This Tenerife I was talking about, you have like 1, 2, 3 players, all of them right there. Then you go to the goalkeepers, just the usual suspects. they are all there for the team. Now, this is what the squad is looking like. As we mentioned, they have about 5 replacements coming in for some of these players that were not there. But we need to go on a very short break. When we come back, we'll be listening to the coach telling us what's currently going on in the camp of the Super Falcons of Nigeria.
Of fitness, most of the leagues are on in most of the countries. The players are playing in their various clubs, and so the aspect of fitness, we do not expect that it will be much of a challenge. It's just for us to work on our tactical play and try to see how we can build on our team tactics, and then see how we apply it appropriately in the game, and then we'll get the result that we will really be hoping for. They are not taking anything for granted. The ones that have not even arrived yet, we know why they have not come, because of travel schedules, and we are also in touch with them, and we know they also understand the importance of what is before us. So we're not going to take anything for granted. And these days, you don't think about because you are at home, you are guaranteed that you must win. You must put in every effort to ensure that you win. Nobody is just going to come to the field and just allow you just get whatever you want. They will put up a fight. So you must be ready for the fight and try as much as possible to ensure that you get your acts together, so that at the end of the day, you get what you deserve. Ashley has been having a lot of injuries. She has been carrying some knock, and she has not fully recovered. That is just the truth about it. And she needed some rest, a break from the national team engagement, so that she can recover fully. But she's still part of the team. When she's fully recovered, certainly we know what Ashley can bring to bear, and she will be part of the team going forward.
All right, you just listened to the coach talking about, the player everyone has been talking about, Ashley, why she not being in camp, and he explained that it's because of the injury. Well, yeah, she's been playing for Saudi League, and she even scored a hat-trick at one time and everything, and she moved over there. But I think we need to know more what's currently going on. But I think injuries might just be, and because we're playing Cape Verde, and these players feel, look, it's no big deal. But they should reach out more and find out what is it with these players.
Yeah.
Let them talk to you. But I love the Alozier's explanation. Said she spoke with the team, administrator, saying she's going to undergo surgery. And Mono also said she's nursing the injury and everything. And I think maybe it's after this invitation was sent out before they discovered that this is the situation with the players. If you have a team secretary, always reach out to the player, then you understand that, yes, what's currently going on, and then all of them will understand what is at stake. Because Austin really wants to... Austin, I mean, we should leave it there, right? The game is on Thursday.
Don't leave it. This is silly. That's what I'm saying. Like, when is the need for us to identify problems, we should, so that we can start thinking about ways to solve them. What you said is valid. We need to do more in terms of checking on the mental state of our players, not only talk about them when they want to, represent the country, but I just had a problem with that NFF statement that said they voluntarily opted out. Like, why are you opting out of a national assignment, a crucial one? What's really going on with the team? What's the NFF saying? How much can Coach Justin Magudu do on the interim? These are problems. We must identify them and start looking for ways to solve them. Because whether or not we agree, Cecilia, the gap is closing. We can see it. It's closing over and over again. That teams can now come out and try to be a threat to the Super Falcons. We are blessed as a country with rich human and natural resources, but it's how we manage it. That's where I always have a problem, because the NFF cannot come out now and tell me that all is well. Do I believe the Super Falcons can beat Cape Verde on Thursday? Of course. If something else happened, that would be a shocker. In fact, I'll be shell-shocked if Cape Verde will stun the Super Falcons back home in Nigeria. But it doesn't stop the fact that there are problems, and we must solve those problems.
Yeah, I think, Austin, I completely understand what you're saying, because everyone who read that email from Nigeria Football Federation, you start asking questions. Maybe all is not done with the team. I think maybe the tone of that message. I mean, I read it. I was discussing with the producer on Sunday. He was even asking me, what's this guy trying to say to everyone? But I believe that maybe the tone of that message doesn't really tell... let me throw it to you because the tone of the message that was sent out was what made people to be worried. If you just send out a message and just say, okay, Aissatou Shola and Jennifer will be out of this fixture, and you end it there.
Yeah.
But that voluntarily, and also the fact that they now explain how they sent a ticket to them like a week ago, and then they are now, as if maybe they don't want
Like
to play for the national team. Yes, I mean that's the tone of that message. It's not a good one for me. I think as a PRO, I mean, PRO.
I ask a simple question. Cool. You've got a media team. At least the NFF have got a media body. These are things they should let you know. This is how you relate to the public so that you don't send panic out there. You don't send the wrong message.
That's what
you don't send the wrong message to us.
And remember the World Cup money just came in.
Exactly.
So people are thinking, what is it?
Is there a lot of issues?
That's the thing. So that message is...
And that is what we've gotten over the years, where there would always be a vacuum left, and then people start to fill that vacuum, especially the journalists. And you hear the administrators come for you, call you names, and say you are trying to, play down what they are doing. Otherwise, there is a vacuum to be filled. And that's
so many questions.
So many questions to be asked. Like you said, they are absent. Handle the issue. Don't send it to the public and say they voluntary. Because if you ask these players, they would have an entirely different story. It is what it is. But for Coach Magudu, he had said, I took a proper look. This is the second place I took a proper look into Cape Verde. In the last 5 years, they've been on the high. They've been growing. So we will not take them for. I love that fact that we're not taking them for granted. And also, he said since the World Cup, because a lot of Nigerians are expecting that World Cup showing from the Super Falcons, he said that crop that had a beautiful showing has not been together in that same way. So we might not see a performance like that, but the Super Falcons is still the Super Falcons. And hopefully, against Cape Verde, we will still talk about the Super Falcons as that big team in Africa.
Okay, hopefully we're able to do that. So let's rest it and quickly go to, the league right here at home. We'll talk about match day 3, the games for this Wednesday, midweek games. That's when they usually play the game, starting from what happened to Edo Queens at Rivers Angels. That 3 goes to 1. I hope they want to try and get something out of that. But let's take a look at how match day 3 is looking like. We're starting with Group A, where you have Abia Angels and Heartland who will be playing. This game will be 2 p.m. at Enyimba Stadium, because Enyimba is playing Remo Stars at that particular stadium by 4 p.m. So that's why this game is an earlier game at 2 p.m. Nigeria Tels will be hosting Adamawa Queens, who are yet to get a win. Confluence Queens and Royal Queens. Royal Queens also yet to get a win. They'll be playing against each other. Dana's Ladies and Nasarawa Maison. Nasarawa Maison, of course, topping their group. They won their 2 games, so they're having a good run in Group A. Now let's go to Group B, where at least every team here, they've gotten a point out of the 2 games they played so far. Remo Stars Ladies will be up against Bayelsa Queens, Ekiti Queens and FC Robo Queens. FC Robo Queens and Sunshine Queens played that 5-goal thriller right here in Lagos. Sunshine Queens will be hosting Edo Queens, who, of course, they're wounded because of that 3-1 loss to Rivers Angels. Delta Queens will be hosting Rivers Angels. Now, this is the game that everyone will be looking forward to, because when you look at Rivers Angels, yes, 4 points, 1 draw, and 1 win. Delta Queens, in that particular group, no team has won the 2 games, a draw and a win. That's what most of them have. So that is the game we'll be looking at, because when you look at the table, yes, early days, that Group B, we said it was a tough team because of the way it is. Now you just have almost everyone has gotten a point. Sunshine Queens have a point. Edo Queens, Ekiti Queens also have a point. Why the top 2 have 4 points each? Then the top 4, you have Robo Queens and Edo Queens, 3 points each, as they've won 1 game each. Then you also have Remo Stars Ladies on 2 points and Delta Queens also on 2 points after 2 games. Now that group...
I was going to that Delta Queens versus Rivers Angels. Yes, you can say these are big teams because of what Delta Queens did and what they are doing. Rivers Angels, we know what they can do. But for the fact that Delta Queens find themselves where they are right now, and see, in a average season like this, you just must start picking up points now. Otherwise, that spot left up there will just elude you. And I think Delta Queens, these are games that you use not just to get points, but also to send message to other teams. Because if you beat Rivers Angels 2-0 thereabout, all other teams, Sunshine, Ekiti, they would look at you in every game you have to play, and they'll remember what you did to Rivers Angels. So Delta Queen want to get back into winning ways by, doing this. But for Rivers Angels, it's hard for anybody to bet against them.
It's hard to bet against it. But we'll continue after the break. But on our DSTV platform, we'll be having Inside Niger Delta. And of course, Sports Night will continue on every other platform. Stay with us. Welcome back. Austin, I believe you want to maybe talk about one or two games for the NPFL Premiership Match Day 3.
It's definitely what's happening in Group B. We said it that it's going to be a competitive group, and now we're going to be having Delta Queens, the defending champions, going against Rivers Angels. That's a poster match for the Nigerian Women's League all day, every day. Delta Queens still without a win in 2 matches. Rivers Angels played a draw with Remo in their opening game and then won their second game, and now they need to prove a point against Delta Queens. So definitely that should get us talking. It's just early days. We're already talking about the first 2 match days. Match day 3 should definitely get us talking. And if you go take a look at that Group A table, you'd want to say Abia Angels. They're doing something impressive also, because I see them with maximum points.
Yeah.
And that's why you must put prominence to that game that they are playing tomorrow. So let's let them play it, and then we will come back to talk about it. But these are really good times for league football development in Nigeria, both for the men and the women.
All right, talking about the men, and that's where we're going to, right? Oh, before that, quickly, let's touch down on this one. Austin, I know you love grassroots football so much. And that's why you're having internationals coming together. They want to fill the void. I mean, you can't just be focusing on the elite professionals, but then you have to look for a way where you can harness this talent at a very, very young stage. That's why you have this community football tournament, the inaugural edition. 40 teams started the journey, but then obviously only one team will have to win, and that's Bariga FC, champions of this very first edition.
And Bariga, as a community, go and check. They've done so much for grassroots football development, and it's paying off. Cecilia, this is what I always talk about at the grassroots. It gives me so much joy that this is community football development in action. Picture looks good, the quality of things, and that's because private partnership and some sort of sponsorship came into it. And that's the structure we should be building. The Nigerian Football Federation, I keep saying it, go after serious people who want to put money into the football system in Nigeria. Go after people who want to make football a business in Nigeria. Draw out programs, partner with them. Let's do more of these things. We shouldn't be saying, oh, there's crisis in Super Eagles. We don't have goalkeepers. Nigeria, the same Nigeria that I know that at secondary school level, God bless his soul, we were already discovering the late Stephen Keshi. This same Nigeria that Daniel Amokachi was picked from the streets, Garba Lawal, Dotsu Joseph, and a lot of stars that came out of the Principal's Cup. It's all the grassroots. We just need to give him more attention. And now it's getting into communities. And if you check it now, government also should find a way and say, how can we use community sports development to empower young people? They are doing it in Bayelsa State with the Prosperity Cup. Now we're hearing about this competition in Lagos. Let's do more. You know what? Let's listen to ex-internationals and the people who are involved in this community football development initiative and find ways to sustain this sort of momentum.
All along, we've seen talented players that can play for Nigeria, not even under 20. I'll be honest with you. And as such, we have a list. Our proposal will be to put them together and then get a trip outside Nigeria for these selected players from 1xBet. And I'm very sure they will oblige us. They will agree to us putting the best team together and then going to play probably Arsenal under 20 team in England.
You see, what is novel about what they are doing here? Seeing people playing soccer in different communities of our society is not new. But what is new is the kind of facelift that they have given the idea. This, to me, will serve as an impetus to encourage these young guys to continue to strive to be somebody as far as this soccer is concerned. And as we were saying over there, that I don't know of anything better. In fact, it should be a palliative on the part of the government to cure poverty. because it's better than this cash that they are giving them. It's better than anything you can ever think of, because this is teaching people how to fish in the true sense of it. You are bringing out the inherent gift in terms of skills that is in them, so that they can use that to be something in life. So I think there is no better way to go about it than this, and we must commend the OneXBet for this laudable.
I think we can't say more than what we've seen today. This is awesome. I got here this afternoon and I see the crowd in my mind thinking this is a national team playing or a league side team playing. I think the organizers have done their best. And if you look around, we have a lot of coaches, ex-internationals that are here to watch the game. And likewise, some ex-Nigerian coaches like Tunde Disu, Fatai Amo, still there. So the president of Fatai Amo has already gingered those players to play well, because they will have the opportunity of being invited to the U20 or U23 team. I think it's a good one, and I hope, I pray that it won't be one-off from the expert. It will be a continuous thing, so that the history of Nigerian football or any of those boys that are playing today, when it's being written, it will be there that I once played in the OneXBet tournament hosted in every community before the final was played at MJ Arena Stadium, Odonikon.
Ex-international Wahida Kone, and of course, former Super Eagles goalkeeper Adosu Joseph, talking about this non-league community football initiative. Kende Idris, I talk about the grassroots all the time, but it's so lovely when we see it being put into action.
Exactly, Austin. Like we always clamor, it is easy to be on your armchair criticizing, throwing, blames at people, especially for those who have played at that level, ex-internationals, whether national ex-footballers, club level at the topmost. But when you now come together to want to contribute your own quota, I think you've now taken it to another level. Now you're not just apportioning blame, or you're not just talking about the problems, you're trying to be a part of the solution. And even if it's just a player that comes out from this, they would, or he or she would remember the fact that it was your initiative that got him here. And if that player goes ahead to be so massive for the national team, for the country, you would always be proud that my contribution gave us this. So all hands must be on deck. I say time and time again, yes, it's easy to be a critic, but what is so hard is to contribute so well and help the country to the next level. Whether the country appreciates it or not, do your bit. And I'm sure after this competition or, subsequent ones, everybody who is involved will continue to be proud, beat them chest and say, I am doing my part to get Nigerian football to another level, a beautiful level.
Yeah, it is beautiful. 5 communities across Lagos took part. 40 teams started the journey and, of course, ended up with Bariga FC winning it. All right, let's come home and quickly. Yeah, we're still home. Yeah, let's talk about this one. I mean, the 2026 World Cup, I started. Nigeria still in a ticket. But former player, talking about Peter Rufai, former goalkeeper for the Super Eagles of Nigeria, has been talking about this because of the way the Super Eagles started the qualifiers for the 2026 World Cup. We know they miss out of Qatar, but we're thinking they will start this on a bright note. But after 2 games, just 2 points instead of 6. But let's take a listen to Peter Rufai talking ahead about this. I mean, how the Eagles can actually bounce back from this one and get a ticket to 2026 World Cup.
Yeah, you see, in a game of football, you must take everything serious in the aspect of planning and in the aspect of executing. And as far as the first 2 matches are concerned, it called for consign. It calls for concern, there's no doubt about that. But on the other hand, knowing what football it's all about, the same thing that happened right now that happened with the Super Eagles in the previous matches could also happen to our opponents in the last stages. of the competition. All the Super Eagles have to do is that they've taken a note from what has happened, and I'm quite sure that they are going to put corrections to all they have observed. And there is nothing strange about what has happened. Nothing strange.
Yeah, nothing strange about what is happening. The Super Eagles can bounce back because after Rwanda defeated South Africa, we're literally happy. The group is open. But when you look at that group, yes, 2 games. Yes, they say have 8 more. There's going to be 10 games across 47 months. That's like 2 years. We're in 2026. But then the way they started, Austin, I mean, there's still hope. He just mentioned that. I know you were critical about the Super Eagles of Nigeria. So after listening to Peter Rufai, do you have a little bit of hope, just a tiny one?
I had so much, Cecilia. That's what I told you.
You had so much. I'm talking about now. Do you have not had?
When I was listening to Dodo Mayana, Peter Rufai, I said to myself, I'm going to give him a call right after this show, and I'll say, now we are not on TV. Tell me the truth. What is happening? Is it real? Back in the day, in your time, that will be in this sort of group with South Africa, Rwanda, Zimbabwe, and we'll be shaking. And Nigeria will have 2 points. Lesotho, I will have 2 points from 2 matches. I'll ask Dodo Mayana, you'll get that call from me. There's so much to be worried about. I don't know about the confidence level. They can pick it up tomorrow and do the right thing.
Yeah.
But for now, everyone should be worried. We should be bothered, particularly Rufai, that knows what it is, how we've been blessed with goalkeepers. Now, goalkeeping is a major issue in the Super Eagles, you know. So, what does it mean by what is happening is not strange? It's strange. We failed to qualify for the World Cup. We have a golden opportunity now to sail into the 2026 edition, and we have started on this very shaky note. And Rufai is trying to, is my man, I'll give him a call, and I'll say, no, I want you to just tell me the truth. Is what is happening, is it really not strange? It is strange. This is the Super Eagles of Nigeria, the national pride and joy that brings glory, unity to millions of Nigerians all over the world that were going through what we're going through in the last 3 years. Everyone should be worried.
Okay. You worried?
I'm worried, super worried. I was saying it to Cecilia last week where, yeah, Austin said, I'm not surprised about the table. I'm insulted that the Super Eagles is sharing point with Lesotho and Zimbabwe. Benin is also 1 point behind the Super Eagles, and Rwanda is topping the group. Trust me, it's disrespectful for the Super Eagles. Not because we just want to talk, but because we were not at the last World Cup.
Okay.
This is a worry. When you start this way, and you might just think, there are still 8 games to go, and then the 3rd game goes funny, and then the 4th game, and the final games, you will start doing harder work. Although Peter Rufai said something, he said the fate that meted the Super Eagles in the first 2 games can also meet their opponents.
Yeah, he started with South Africa.
Yes, in their last games,
okay.
which is normal in football. But you cannot dwell on what might happen. Live in today. The Super Eagles start racking up points. If at match day 6, we're already qualified, do you know how well you will just take the remaining match days, check your teams and all of that, start preparing for the World Cup? That gives you ample time. That means up until the final game now, we will still be talking about qualifying.
If this beat this and this don't beat this.
Exactly, which is not what we want at this time.
Okay.
You should be hungrier as a team because we didn't qualify for the last World Cup. But, Cecilia, I would always say, I know the coaches and the players have their faults, but so many times, whatever happens on a match day, 70% of it had happened before match day. 30% is what we see on the pitch. What are the decisions? How are we adjusting to what's happening now from decisions made before we get to play matches? I'm talking about administrators. Okay,
all right. Next round of qualifiers will be in June. I'll be facing South Africa and Benin Republic in that month. That's June. So that's after Africa Cup of Nations. And hopefully, after we won the Africa Cup of Nations, I mean, the hope will come back and people like Austin will have more hope again that the Super Eagles will be at the party in Mexico, Canada, and United States. Okay, let's go to match day. Talk about NPFL. Yes, I mean games that were decided over the weekend. We'll just run through some of the results. Yes, some surprises, but not much of the surprises. Oriental Derby, of course, you expected Enyimba to nick that one, and of course they did. They did it well. So let's start off with that one. The game between Heartland and Enyimba. That game ended in favor of Enyimba. Of course, they needed that and they got it. So Heartland, they are still winless. Well, they're still winless after 10 games. So 6 draws and 4 losses. That's for Heartland. Remo Stars and Doma United. This ended goalless. Doma United second on the log. Now this is a team you have to watch it for. I think you can call them a championship team. Yes, early days, but then it's already match day 10. Abia Warriors and Rangers. Abia Warriors won that by a lone goal. Katsina United and Bayelsa, they share the spoils, and Sunshine Stars and Sporting Lagos won in favor of the home team. Lobby Stars and 3SCs, also the home team, winning that one by 2-1. Let's flip over to other games that were decided at the weekend. Kwara United and Gome, Kwara winning at home. Niger Tornadoes and Aqua United. Aqua United, they won 2 games this season. Austin, what is going on? Kano Pillars and Benin Insurance, that ended goalless. Insurance going away from home to get a point from Kano Pillars. So, and of course, for the rescheduled game, which is for tomorrow at the Enyimba Stadium, you have Enyimba hosting Remo Stars. They quickly want to get all their rescheduled games, and then we'll know where they will be at match day 11. But for now, Austin, I don't know what's wrong with Aqua United this season. Yes, last season wasn't so perfect, but this season is worse, because when you look at the table, you go to 18th position. That's where you will see Aqua United. And I was looking at it, 10 matches, 10 points. Like, okay, 1 point from each game, share it across. 2 wins.
See there, you know, but this is football where anything can happen. And if you've been following Aqua United, no excuses here. Even the season when they won the league, they are very bad starters. But this is worse actually.
Okay.
But they don't really start well. It's rather unfortunate that after 10 matches they're struggling with just 2 wins, and that has condemned them to, I think, the 18th position. If the league should end tomorrow, they will be relegating. But look, these are still early times.
Okay.
I was telling you, was it last week?
Don't look at the table.
We were talking about Enyimba and their position.
Yeah.
Now, you look for Enyimba.
Yeah.
I think they're on the top 4 now.
Top 5.
If they beat Remo tomorrow, they're just proving to you that they know the league. Yes, it's worrisome for the likes of Aqua United, even to an extent Rivers United. But we understand that Rivers United, they played lesser game. What am I saying? They played 9.
9. So just 1. Yeah.
So if you look at where Rivers United are on the table, it's worrisome for a team that was so close to even winning the league last season, won the league 2 seasons ago. That tells you that with the Nigeria Premier Football League, if you're not starting properly, you're going to struggle. Shout out to the team that I love to talk about, Doma United. I knew Remo was going to be a test for them, and they held their own. That game ended goalless, which is, in a way, if you go to Ikene to play and pick the points, then you are a decent team. So that team continues to show that they know what it means to, aspire to be a big team. Let's talk about the Oriental Derby. Abia Warriors, I said it, that when they play the big teams in the Oriental Derby, they know how to flex muscles and prove that they can chill with the big boys. So winning that one against Rangers was also a good one for Abia Warriors. And that did so much good for them. They're now 7th on the log. Look, it's just match day 10, I know, but it's very important to start gathering those points now. That's what the likes of Rivers United and Aqua will regret. By the time they start picking up points, you'll find out that the difference between maybe winning the league or going to the continent to play football will be the cost of what you are paying for not starting properly.
Yeah, that's what it is. I mean, Enyimba will be up against Remo Stars tomorrow. That's another big game. Both sides have played 9 matches each, and if they get this one, they move up on the table.
Yeah, both on 16 points.
Both on 16 points, so they go 19. That's just 2nd and 3rd.
Exactly. I think they both need this. Who takes it is what I don't know. But this is going to be a beautiful NPFL game. For anybody who loves the NPFL, you need to follow this. You need to watch this. Enyimba are gradually getting into their own. For Remo Stars, I think yet this season, Remo and Doma United have played the best football for me. The way they've executed games home and away, I love what they've done. So Rema are away now, and maybe they might just prove to us one more time that they are that team that we should look out for. But where Enyimba find themselves now, I think they are getting into the Enyimba we all know. That Enyimba that can roast anything that comes their way. 3 wins on the trot. That has put them, straight up there. At some point, 18, they grew gradually. And when Enyimba gets into this role, I think there is no stopping them. This is the reason why so many times you don't look away from Enyimba. If you ask me 2 weeks ago, who are teams that can win the league, as much as Enyimba were down there, I was still mentioning Enyimba. This is the reason. Because when they get into that role, they just go all the way. And if they win this, I think teams, Lobby and maybe Doma, would find it so hard, to sustain. Because Enyimba breathes down your neck, you'll find yourself confused, and then they topple you. So, good game already. I want to see. I'm rooting for Remo, I'm rooting for Enyimba to just give me good football, and then whoever the best team is should win.
I hope to see good football at Enyimba Stadium, 4 p.m. That's the time. So if you're right there in Enugu, you can just go cheer this team. This is a game you will definitely enjoy. And if you go to the stadium earlier, you also see another one, which is Abia Angels and Heartland, also in action. That same stadium at 2 p.m. Okay, now let's talk about the UEFA Champions League. Of course, some games have been concluded and other games are currently going on. Austin, I think I'll go to you on this one. I mean, so many games are currently going on, in the UEFA Champions League, especially with some games already wrap up. Lazio, for instance, beating Celtic by 2-0.
Yeah, that is done. Cecilia, ask me to shock you. Say, Austin, shock me.
Please shock me. I'm waiting for that shocker. Football.
When RB Leipzig took the lead at the Etihad Stadium, I said, no, Manchester City will come back. Now it's just about 3 minutes to halftime, and it's RB Leipzig 2, Manchester City 0. Openda with the 2 goals. Good brace for him. Second goal was a long ball upfield. He had a good chase. Manchester City defense went to sleep, and it finished perfectly. Can you believe it? It's Manchester City 0, RB Leipzig 2. Wow.
Okay. All right. I mean, you're playing Manchester City, and it's just how many minutes to the end of first half? So like few minutes, right? Okay.
But I think that's not the biggest
regulation
result
time. That's when we know the result. Heartland will pop up and give you a hat trick.
Newcastle leading PSG. I think that should be the biggest result being talked about right now.
Okay, what happened in the first one? They won.
I'm saying PSG are home.
Yeah, it doesn't.
And Newcastle winning right now.
They did it before, so they can also do it again.
That's at home. That's at St. James Park. This is in France. If Newcastle goes ahead to nick this, I think this will just be what they need. This match will be the corner curtain for them to get into the knockout rounds of the Champions League. This will be a massive win for Newcastle if they do.
Interesting. All right. Okay, let's just take a look at the. Okay, all right, Austin. Yeah.
Yeah, Isak with the goal, I think in the 13th minute, and that's Newcastle's first away goal this season in the UEFA Champions League. And just as Kende said, it will do a lot of good for them. I think to push them to second on the log and make that group really competitive, it will open it up and give Newcastle a new hope to qualify to the next round. I love it so much, Cecilia.
All right, let's quickly run down the fixtures for Wednesday. We'll start with Group A. Galatasaray and Manchester United will be in action. Bayern Munich and Copenhagen will also be in action. In Group B, Sevilla and PSV Eindhoven, Arsenal and Lens will also be in action. That's Wednesday night. Flip over to Group C, the games that we have quickly. We can see that Real Madrid and Napoli will be in action. The first leg, you know how it ended. It was Real Madrid 1. Braga and Union Berlin will also be in action. Benfica and Inter Milan, Real Sociedad and FC Salzburg. That ended the Group D. That's what Wednesday fixtures is looking like. If we have time quickly, let's listen to Erik ten Hag, because this is a team that they might just be exiting the Champions League. That's if they don't beat Galatasaray on Wednesday night.
Progress, and you see we are stepping up. We are more stable. We are winning games. So definitely there's a big difference from the first moment we played them. Last year we couldn't win away from home. There was an issue. And now we can't win at home. So now we win away games, and now you're bringing up we don't win away games in Europe. We are confident because the last games away from home in the league, also in very hostile environments, we played very well. We were very calm and composed. This team also last year in Barcelona, so we know how to deal with it, and I'm sure there will be tomorrow a confident team on the pitch. And you have to stay calm in your head and don't get too emotional. You need the emotions, but you have to control it, and that you don't give them anything, and that you don't give the refereeing as well that moment, and that they're gonna take. And so you have to stay away from such moments. But you have to. We know how to deal with it. You have to play confident, and you have to make it your game. So it's not that important how the opponent is playing. It's important how we are playing, how we are dealing with possession, how we are dealing with out of possession. So normal stuff, and we will make a good plan. But then, in the end of the of the moment, the players, they have to decide. They have to manage the game.
It's obviously disappointing if we don't go through. But I'm not thinking on that at the moment. I'm just focused on the game against Galatasaray, because the only way we can go through is winning against Galatasaray and going to the last game with a chance to go through. So our focus at the moment is on winning this game, knowing that we play against such good opponent away from home, where the atmosphere will be intense. But I think everyone, as a kid, you enjoy and you want to be in this kind of stages, big stadiums, big atmosphere. So you just have to enjoy the challenge.
Big challenge. Bayern is standing 12 points. That's what they have. That's the game. That's the final group game. Austin, we have to go.
Yeah, it's going to be really tough for Manchester United because Galatasaray is tied on 4 points with FC Copenhagen. Manchester United, they are fourth. They are at the bottom of that group. And if Galatasaray wins, it takes them to 7 points and puts them in good position. All the best, Manchester United. That's the show. In London, I'm Austin Okonakwa, and in everything you do, remember, keep talking sports. Bye for now.
Kehinde, it was nice doing this with you.
It's always beautiful doing it with you.
All right, thank you so much for watching. I'm Cecilia Mogbe. Have a good night rest.